Hello, YouTube, and fellow amateur radio operators and shortwave listeners out there. I just wanted to share something with anybody who's had the same dislike that I have. I just purchased a brand new Grundig Satellite 750. Love the radio. It works very well, and putting up against some of the other stuff that I own, it performs extremely well. I haven't tried to hook it up to an outdoor antenna yet, but the built antenna seems to work fine. There was one thing that I didn't like about the radio when it came, and my preferences with my radio equipment in the shack is I like everything that's eye level on the table to be angled up a little bit, and all of my other radios, I've done that. If they didn't have extension feet on the bottom of the radios, I propped it up with some wood, like my Yaesu here. And anyway, the Satellite 750 came with just 4 feet on the bottom. That keeps it pretty much level. And in order for me to see comfortably what I'm doing, I have to always bend down. So what I did, I didn't want to make any damage to the radio or anything permanent. But what I did is I went over to the local Walmart and I went to the hardware section where they sell canisters for the bottom of chairs, and I found these package of 10. They're little felt, I guess they're used for chair bottoms. I don't know. I guess you can use them for anything. It's to prevent the unit or whatever you're using not to scratch anything. Anyway, I bought this package of 10 of these, and I took four of them. And on the bottom of the Grundig, you have these 4 little rubber feet on here, but they're basically almost flush against the radio. There's not really much sticking out there, and they're all 4 of them in the same height. So what I did was I took these little felt things, and I just cut them with a pair of scissors to basically the same size as the little rubber that's built into the radio here. I tried to make it the same size. It's very hard. It's a little bit difficult unless you have a really sharp pair of scissors or a cutting knife. But I cut them to the best I could, and I doubled them. And I put the first one on there, on the front, and then I put the second one on top. And 2 seems to be sufficient, and it keeps the radio propped up, not causing any damage to the radio at all, and nothing is permanent. This can always be taken off, not leaving anything but maybe a little residue which can be cleaned off. But that's what I wanted. I didn't want anything permanent on the radio. I wish it did come with something like my ICOM R71 has, that little thing on the bottom there that swings down. I only can't see it on here because I have it propped up. Same thing on my Kenwood 430. I mean, I have this little bar that comes up and down. That would have been perfect on the Grundig, but they didn't make it that way. So when I put these little felt things on here, and I put it back on where I keep it, now it's angled up perfectly to where I can see everything without bending down. And you can see on the side, right here, well, not very well, but you can see it's angled up. And it's not in any way dangerous to the radio. It will not tip. The radio can actually go back just a little bit more before it hits the back and still not tip over. So it was just enough to angle it up to where I was comfortable to see everything on the controls without bending over. Maybe somebody who's a little bit taller may want to put another layer on there. That'll bring it all the way up to where it stops. And then that may be better for them. But for me, 2 layers of this little felt feet were fine. Anyway, I just wanted to share that. That's the one thing that I didn't like about the radio, was they didn't make the extension feet in the front a little bit longer than the back, so you can have it a little angled up. And my preference is I just like to have everything angled up, unless it's on the top shelf. If it's on the top shelf, I like it to be level. But if I have it on a tabletop where I just sitting down next to it, Seems to be better this way for me. Anyway, just wanted to share that. If anybody has the same problem that I had, that I wanted to solve and didn't want to make any damage to the radio, that's the best way to do it, I think. Unless somebody's got something else better or can come up with one of these. But I think something like that, you would have to put some permanent holes in the radio, and I wouldn't want to do that. Okay, everybody have a good day. Enjoy your radio hobby like I do. 73.